Somebody sent me this. 5th fatality at the Isle of Man TT race. I actually, when this came in, I usually just read them like as I'm talking to you guys, but that I had to look up. Now, the Isle of Man race is on the Isle of Man, which is, I believe, I was going to go to this thing. I had everything lined up. I was trying to line up a gig. I was going with my buddy of mine before all this COVID happened. And it's the most insane motorcycle race out there. They've had more deaths than years that they've had it. And these people just drive 1,000,000 miles an hour through these little farm towns. I don't know how they do it, but they've had 5 fatalities this year alone. It says, hey, Bill, really don't mean to spam you. Maybe you follow this news yourself, but 2 more fatalities today. I'm just morbidly curious about the TT race. I'm not that into motor racing, but have threatened to go to it for years with my brother, who is a big petrol head. You might be interested in the story of the Dunlop family from Northern Ireland. Maybe you know them. Know of them, I think is what you're trying to say. Dunlop, like the tires and all of that stuff. Big name in racing. The gist is the most successful Isle of Man TT rider ever was Joey Dunlop. Oh, okay. With 26 victories over the years. Jesus Christ. He was killed in a bike road race in Estonia in 2000. His brother Robert Dunlop had 5 TT victories. All right. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the Dunlop family from Ireland is some of the toughest people God ever created here. His brother Robert Dunlop had 5 TT victories. So in that family, they had a total of 31 victories. He was killed in a road race in Northern Ireland in 2008, the Northwest 200. Robert had 2 sons, William and Michael, and they featured in the documentary Road. Oh, they are featured in the documentary Road. Well, I'm watching that, which is worth checking out. William was killed in a bike road race just outside Dublin in 2018. My God. Jesus Christ. This is like a reverse Pixar movie. His brother Michael, who has lost his uncle, father, and brother, still races bikes and won 2 events in the Isle of Man TT this year. He is now 3rd on the list of most wins. The mentality of some of these riders is fascinating. All the best. I mean, it's got to be the most interesting interview ever. All right, Isle of Man. Roger and Bradley Stockton die in a sidecar crash. So this was a father and son have been killed in a crash during the racing of the Isle of Man. TT organizers have confirmed. The pair from Crewe, I hope I said that right, CREWE, both died as a result of the incident at Aggo's Leap. Oh, boy. During the second lap of the second sidecar race on Friday, passenger Bradley, 21, was a newcomer to the event, while his father, Roger, 56, last competed at the TT in 2017. 5 riders have now died at the event this year. Holy shit. I got to be honest, like, the Isle of Man is the closest thing to what racing was, you know, back in the day in like the 50s and 60s, where people, like, you got in the car and you were seriously like just a car. You were seriously risking death. I've recommended this book a number of times. There's a book out there called The Limit, and it's about the first F1 champion that was American born. And aside from an amazing accomplishment, is just the amount of death that there was back then. And I know I've talked about this before on the podcast, but forget about on the track, into the crowd. Like the safety in the cars wasn't there. And it certainly wasn't there for the crowd. And these fucking guys would hit each other and their cars would just go flying into the crowd. And they'd kill like fucking, I don't know, 15 fucking people. It was insane. And it's really amazing, like the level of safety that they've been able to achieve over the years because of, you know, they always learn through people fucking dying. Same thing with aviation. So it becomes super safe because people give up their lives there. Is there a place to? There's got to be a place to watch that live. That race every year. It is fucking. That is no joke. That's you're putting on your big boy pants there. So rest in peace to all 5 of those riders. Everybody over there. I don't know how they get their balls into the fucking riding leathers. Those are some throwback people. Much respect. All right, nerds out of control. There's going to be some gun nut. Oh, how come you're not saying bad motorcycles? Nerds out of control. Dear Billy Bong, did you see this article going around about the Google engineer who quit because he had a conversation with an AI computer and he came to realize that it was fully aware of what it was saying and what it was doing? The computer starts explaining that even though it's a computer, there's no difference between it and a human. If that's not the writing on the wall, I don't know what is. If you own Google, would you have the whole thing shut down? Yes. Or placate to the robots and try and side with them, assuming that if you tried and kill them, they might strike back first. I figure at some point they've so fucked up with these robots, because you know what they're going to do with these robots? These robots are going to be the Michael Jordan of everything. You know, you have a buddy, he's really good at reading people, but he sucks at math. Michael Jordan of basketball, what I'm saying? Everybody gets a gift. That's not true, but, they like to tell people that. But, the greats all get gifts, right? They're going to basically make something that can dunk from the half-court line that is a Mark's nose. It's going to be like Rambo. The fucking thing is going to be like Rambo. And then they're going to give it a fucking porn star robot dick. It's going to be able to fuck any woman better than any guy. It's the dumbest shit. I just don't understand why they're doing this. Anyway, assuming if you had, let's see, where was it? Assuming that if you try and kill them, they might strike back first. Like you tell your wife over breakfast, I think we have a problem with these robots. Then before you can do anything about it, the toaster blows up in your face. Yeah, I would say there has to be a safe word that shuts them down. The problem is with this is you're dealing with nerds. Okay? And if you go back to the great 80s film, Weird Science, what was it? It was a couple of nerds. They wanted to get laid. And rather than fucking just learning how to talk to women, they used their smarts and they just built a woman. And it was all done like it was this funny thing. They had bras on their head and shit. But I think there was a real deeper message there. So, I saw an article that said the first sex robots are coming out. This is going to be... I don't think global warming is going to take us out. So my only thing is what I think might be going on here is this is their way that they're going to solve both rebellion and the world population. Is they're going to create a world of robots to replace all of us, so they'll never have to worry about being taken out of power, and then they can just bang tens all the fucking time. And it'll just be like, like they had like the 5 families in the New York Mafia. There'll be like a family that survives in like maybe each continent or something like that. I don't know what. No, you can't have that. Then you're back to Adam and Eve, and then you got your fucking relatives banging each other. It'll be you got to have enough of a mix there, so, we're not complete morons. By the way, that was my arm rubbing on the chair for people who are always going, did you pass gas? Every time I shift in this fucking chair. See, listen. I can't do it. No, I won't be able to do it. Whatever. What is it? If you own Google, would you do? Yeah, I don't. All right, do I really want to click on this? I try to stay away from this type of shit because I used to click on stuff like this all the time, and it was just so fucking unsettling. Like watching these people filming Lake Mead drying up, and nobody's talking about that. You know what I mean? You know, Lake Mead drying up and the drought in the southwestern part of this country. Evidently, my set on Friends Who Kill was sadder than what's going on out here, evidently, according to some of these fucking idiots.